Attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, welcome everybody. Hope everyone's had a good 2 weeks. It's great to be with everyone here today. We'll begin momentarily for Webinar Wednesday. It's really great to be with everyone here today. We have some awesome updates to share with you. So if you're tuned in today, I think it's a pretty special presentation we have. So glad you could join us. Want to say hi to a few familiar names and faces out there and a handful of I do see some new people here. Efren, good to see you. John and Juan, good to see you. Colette, nice to, we have a surprise for you today, Colette. Hope you'll like it. Dean, good to see you. Alex, new name there. Nice to see you as well. And we have Tony, shout out to Sherilyn over there. Also, our all-star in the Facebook group, Ryan, great to see you here as well. We'll begin in just a moment, allowing everyone to log in, grab a bag of popcorn, cup of coffee, glass of water. We'll begin in just a moment. All right, a big update we're working on here at Brilliant Directories is having elevator waiting music before the webinar begins. So we'll be sure to notify you once that update is ready for the webinars. Well, it's been a great 2 weeks. We've been super busy here at BD. The Facebook group has been popping off, so it's great to see all the activity there. If this is your first time joining Webinar Wednesday, welcome. I am Jason there on the left. And we are lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories, and so much more. Can't say that enough. David, thanks for taking the time to join us for this webinar. Sound, Dave, getting a little choppy sound on your end. It may be your mic or internet. Why don't you take, it's going to be important for that to be working. Why don't you take a second look at that to make sure it's connected properly.
How about now?
Yep, that is much better.
All right, perfect. Glad to be back with everybody for a great webinar Wednesday. We've got a really interesting presentation coming up for you. One that we've covered a little bit in the past, well over a couple of years ago now. So we're revisiting it with some great new ideas and tools to share with you guys.
And we are streaming on YouTube today, which means that the replay will be instantly available on our YouTube channel. We will also share a link in the Facebook group. So if you needed to catch something that we covered in today's webinar right away, that YouTube link will be available in the Facebook group. And speaking of the Facebook group, if you're not already a member, please feel free to join us at brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. I believe this week we'll be surpassing 7,000 active members in that group. So it's really great to see all the activity there, everyone helping each other. I'm in there as well. Really great conversations, really constructive and positive conversations happening there. So definitely invite everyone to join us there at brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. And I do see some new names and faces out there, so welcome if this is your first time joining us. A little bit about Webinar Wednesday. It's really a great channel for us to share some of the new features built into the platform. What we like to focus on more specifically are some of the features that can help you grow your community a bit quicker. Some of these are topics that we'll cover can be on increasing website traffic, converting that traffic into members or subscribers to your community. One of my favorites is improving the navigation, how to create good landing pages, how to make things smooth and easy for the potential visitor or member visiting your site. So if you have questions on these topics or anything else about your membership website, we'll try to get to as many questions as possible today. All right, and we have a small handful of BD Lab updates to share. I'll stream through these relatively quickly. We've broken ground on lazy loading images. So this is helping the Google page speed scores and other tools when they visit your site. The images that are not on the screen in front of the user, they won't bother loading them, which takes up resources, which can help tick the needle on some of those page speed scores. So it's not the final update for this, but it's a huge step that we broke ground and we figured out how we want to tackle the lazy loading images update. We've started with the homepage streaming sections. So if you're streaming blog articles or events, or members on your homepage, the images in those sections will be lazy loaded on the page, which should help speed up some of the load times there on the homepage. After that, we'll be looking at more internal pages, such as the search results pages for members and posts, and some other areas where images are loaded default by the system. So we'll be sure to keep you guys posted as more updates for speed and lazy loading images are pushed. This is a big one. It's been an upcoming release. It's now available. When you're creating a support ticket in your admin dashboard, you can now include attachments and images when submitting a support ticket. Prior to this, when you created a support ticket in the admin area, you could only include plain text. Let me show you an example of where this is. So if you head on over to your dashboard, under my account, there are some links here, my websites, my tickets. Let's click on Create New Ticket, in case you didn't know those were there. And when you're here, you can create a new ticket, and we'll just choose a site here, homepage, images not loading, whatever the issue might be. And not only can you attach images here at the bottom here, you can just click and it'll access your computer's desktop or whatever it might be. Now you can also make things bold, italic, underlined, as well as drop in some links here. So just a little bit more, I guess, richer text you can add here for your support tickets, as well as the ability to add screenshots. So when you're submitting a support ticket, providing a direct link to the page having an issue, any screenshots you could provide us. I know for some people it's sometimes difficult to take screenshots. Even if you snap it with your cell phone and email support@brilliantdirectories.com, even that is helpful. Our goal when a ticket is sent to us is to recreate the issue so we can identify the problem. So the more information you could provide us to help recreate the issue, the faster our team can assist you. And we know that when support tickets come in, you guys are working hard on your websites. That's why you know, you're emailing in. So we know you're working hard on your websites, and we definitely want to try to help you guys as quickly as possible. All right, so that should provide better communication. Colette and some others, this one is for you. Now with the billing reminder emails, you can select the billing cycles you want to target when those reminder emails are sent to the member, to the customer. Let me show you where that will be. And this is an add-on, the billing reminder emails. I think it's a tremendous add-on, especially the past due email reminders. So this would be under finance, and we can go to payment settings. And under additional settings, you'll have billing email settings. And what everyone should have now in this section, the email to the member, is there is a drop down here and you can select the billing cycles who would receive these emails. So I know the main case here is for upcoming payment reminders. A lot of BD users didn't want their monthly members to receive these payment reminder emails, but they did want their annual members to receive these upcoming payment reminder emails. So in this case, all you would do is select annually, and that is now activated. Make sure to save your changes, and it's done. And the badge here tells you how many cycles have been selected. Up for now, there's 5 key cycles: monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, and one-time. Quarterly is every 3 months. That is one of the payment cycles available in the BD platform. So this is available now. You guys can head on over to there and make the appropriate changes you need for your website. All right, and we've also, just like the lazy load example, there were some other speed updates that have been pushed. This is an ongoing thing within the BD network. We're working on improving response times, finding things that we can cache, and also optimizing some queries and a lot more things. So a lot of these are due to some of the support inquiries that come in. People report, hey, this page is loading slow. Sometimes it's on the user. They've put some heavy assets on a specific page, but sometimes we do identify things in the system that can be improved. So we definitely appreciate when you guys ping us and notify of those things. All right, some cool stuff coming soon. The first Zapier integration, I got a sneak peek of this today with the dev team. Shout out to Stuart from the dev team working on this. I'm actually going to show you a demo of how this phase 1 works. The reason there's a phase 1 is you can create different cases and Zap events to work with Zapier. So the first one, the low-hanging fruit, so we can get something out there, is when you create a form, an application form, a survey form, or just your regular contact us form or your newsletter form, you can send that contact form data into Zapier and have it do or connect with 4,000 other different solutions out there. So let's take a look at what this is going to look like. This isn't the tip of the week, so I'll kind of breeze through this a bit quicker than I normally would, but I do want to show you guys a sneak peek of how this is going to look. So let me get to where I need to go. Okay, so this is a contact form on a site. It could be the newsletter sign-up form. It could be a custom survey you've created. And yeah, when this form is filled out, it's saved in the forms inquiry section, forms inbox of your dashboard, which is nice. But sometimes you want to send this data somewhere else, and that's where Zapier comes in. It's basically thousands of API integrations with one platform through Zapier. So when you have a form like this, in this case, you'll be able to connect it to Zapier, and I'll go to Zapier in a second for those of you who are not familiar with it, but you would edit your form. It could be a custom form that you have on your site, so website contact us form. And in the edit form settings pop-up window, and we're familiar with this, you can choose what happens after the form is submitted. There will be a new tab called Zapier settings. And all you need to do is enable the webhook and also copy the link that Zapier provides you. And that's basically all that you need to do. And we'll go to Zapier and see what happens here. But let me show you, before we go into Zapier, let me show you quickly the kinds of one simple thing you can do with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out this contact form, and I'm going to have it update this Google Sheet. So this could be where all the the submissions get posted to based on the Zapier hook that we created. So let's do, this is the webinar family here, and the email is webinar@family.com. Phone number is 1-800-webinar, and this is a message from the webinar. All right, so the last record here says another test. So let's submit this form. Okay, that was sent. And here is the record here, webinar family, webinar@family.com, 1-800-webinar. So this is just one example. You can send this information, you'll be able to send this information to your MailChimp, your Constant Contact, your HubSpot, Infusionsoft, any of the 4,000 solutions that Zapier connects with. So let's go to Zapier and see what we did exactly and some of the possibilities here. So you would need a Zapier account for this, but in my opinion, if you are working with multiple platforms in your business stack, you're using something for this, something for that, Zapier is critical and essential in some cases. So we can go to Zaps here. This is the Zapier dashboard. All right, and this is the Zap that we created. So what you do is you tell Zapier that you want to create a webhook. That's it. Click continue. They give you this link. So you copy this link. That's what I had pasted in the form settings pop-up here. And now this form is connected to Zapier. So now I follow the steps and I choose what I want the form to do. In this case, I've said add a record to a Google spreadsheet. So what we've done is we want to connect with Google Sheets. We want to create a new spreadsheet row. You connect your Google account here, and then you say what you want to do. So I created a spreadsheet called Webinar Demo Test. I'll go back here. The name of this spreadsheet is Webinar Demo Test. And I put the column headings. So the column headings are here: name, email, phone, message, comment, and then it asks you when that form is submitted, what data is going to correspond to this sheet here. So the name field is going to be your name, the email is going to be the inquiry email, the phone number, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all done. And what's cool is when that form is submitted, you can do other actions. What event do you want to do? Let's send a thank you email to the member using Gmail. Or send them to MailChimp or things like that. So this is really cool. I'm going to stop right there. But this is going to allow your BD site to tie into thousands of other solutions, to trigger events to happen based on visitor and member actions and things like that. Those of you who are familiar with Zapier, I'm sure you're just as excited as I am about this. Those who are not, we will be doing webinars and showing you use cases for this. Again, to help you connect better with your members and create a better tech stack using Zapier and other solutions. So definitely looking forward to that. All right, second one, Ryan, this one is for you coming down the line, the ability to customize the checkout page URLs and also the membership sign up URLs. I can also show you an example of this. It's coming down the pipeline soon. So we are all familiar with the checkout links. Right now, you're kind of locked into your website /checkout and then the ID of the membership plan, which is all fine. It's been like that for over a decade. But we have been getting more requests that people want to customize both the number that corresponds to the membership plan. They want to give it a custom name like Gold Plan. And also some people don't like or want to change the word checkout that has to precede the name of the membership plan. So you might want something like register. So this is coming down the line. I can show you where these settings will be when this is released. But what this is going to allow you to do is have a URL like this, register general user. I'll refresh this page. And that's what I've done on this test site here. So you can get rid of the checkout, you can change it to something else, and you're not locked into having the membership plan ID as the final thing in the URL here. So this is going to be in a couple places. The first one, if you go to your advanced settings, if you search for checkout URL, let me see here. Did I not spell that correctly? Checkout URL. Default checkout URL. So you can see I've changed it to register. Let's change it to sign up for the moment. Okay, great. So that is where you're going to change the main slug for that. And then you can further customize it based on the membership plan if you want to change the name of the membership plan. So in this case, I have membership plan 3. Right now it's /3. And if you scroll down, it's not there yet, guys, it's coming soon. You will have a URL for the sign up page, and you'll be able to customize the last part of that. So again, this could be something like gold plan or something a little bit more catchy than the ID itself. So that is coming soon as well. We're making some small updates to the Google Translate add-on. We're trying to make the widget more portable. We hit a couple roadblocks with it, but that is coming down the line, and patching up some UI quirks with that as well. And then I mentioned this in the previous webinar. I wanted to mention it again. Here are some year-end goals that we have. More use cases for Zapier integrations. Enhancing the features around the post commenting, like the ability to upvote and things like that. I don't have a specific date on that yet. However, I would say that that's going to be coming more at the beginning of 2022 or hopefully in December. So that's going to come at the tail end of this year. Newsletter reporting, being able to create smart lists after you send a newsletter of who opened or who clicked in an email. The ability to have coupon codes for one-off purchases. Those are like leads, pay per post, and digital product purchases, being able to assign coupon codes to those types of purchases. More speed updates, and of course, lastly, the top community suggestions that are pouring in from the Facebook group and in the support center. So thank you, guys. I will take some comments here. I'm going to lower everyone's hands. If you have questions or a comment about any of these updates, feel free to use the raise your hand feature. I'd like to hear just a little bit about what you guys are thinking about all this stuff. All right, we got one hand up here. We got Tim. Looks like you're self-muted, Tim.
Hi, Jason.
How's it going today?
Great stuff as always. Love it, love it. Hey, I was just wondering, in addition to the Zapier, is any chance you'll be doing Connexit or Integrately or webhooks at all for integrations?
Yeah, so Zapier is like the gold standard right now, used by most. We want to nail those integrations and use cases first. And then once that's running smoothly, our prediction is we'll be able to replicate the Zapier hooks for other platforms like Pabbly or some of those other ones that you mentioned. So so the first phase is we want to kind of nail these Zapier integrations, get them in a good stable place. And then you mentioned a lot of solutions that are based on popularity. We'll work on getting hooks for the other connections, because I would assume that they're working with the same models, the same way Zapier does. They just probably have a few different things that need to be connected. So yeah, down the line, we may offer more types of those integrations beyond Zapier.
Very cool stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Good stuff there. Yeah, he did mention a handful of solutions out there. Zapier is the most popular, and I'd say the gold standard for this type of thing. So we want to nail that, and then we'll move on to other solutions. Lisa, your hand is up. Looks like you're self-muted, Lisa.
Can you hear me?
There you go. How are you?
Great. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for all that you guys are doing, and it's constantly updating stuff, so it's getting better. Quick question about, I'm actually going to be moving to ThriveCart for my checkout and sign up so that I can do bump orders and different things like that. Do you guys have an integration with them, or because you're doing Zapier, it can just go through there?
Let's go to Zapier and see if they have a hook for, you said it's called ThriveCart?
Yeah. Same with community, which like a community, like a circle, it's called, to have a community for.
So there's ThriveCart. So what data would you send from your BD site into ThriveCart? Just out of curiosity, it's interesting to hear. Or vice versa.
Yeah, so it would be the opposite way, right? So if I'm using it for the checkout page, then that way, if they want to buy a CD or something when they sign up for their practice, then they can do that. But then the data I'd like to send back to you, because otherwise we're going to redirect them. Ryan Sullivan's helping me. He's going to redirect them back to BD login, but then they're going to have to put all of their membership information in, versus like right now you capture first name and email and those kinds of things.
Right.
So it's not that big of a deal, but if you have the Zapier now, then I was wondering if we can set up a trigger to, once they sign up on ThriveCart, all the data from their checkout will go back into registering their membership.
Absolutely. So that's a really good point that you just brought up. So right now, our focus is going to be to send BD data into Zapier. So like when a member review is submitted or a lead is submitted, the form is submitted, it can go into Zapier. Member signups on your BD site, they can go into Zapier. Once we complete those kind of like outgoing data, the obvious, those outgoing events, then what we're going to do is focus on importing events. So if you want to add a member from another source, like when they're registering on ThriveCart, it adds it as a member registration on your BD site. That's going to be the next phase with Zapier. So that's probably going to be the phase 2, is the importing, where the phase 1 is going to be all the low-hanging fruit to send data out into Zapier. So that will definitely be on the radar. And once we can import, we create the logic to import members, then to me, I don't fully understand, but I would assume any place you're gathering member data, any form you're gathering member data from that has a Zapier integration could be zapped into your BD site as a member record. There would just be some minimum things that it needs to have an email, it needs to have a password, and maybe a name or something at the minimum. And then it should work. So yeah, stay tuned for that stuff, because that's going to be coming up next, is importing data into your BD site using Zapier.
Okay, great.
All right, good question there. I'm glad to see ThriveCart is there. We'll soon have BD there after we get some of these workflows set up. All right, so good stuff there. Lots of updates. You guys are keeping us super busy. I think this is one of the most exciting years for updates and pushes on the BD platform. So glad that you guys can all be a part of it. And with that, we will segue into the tip of the week. As always, David and I, this one we came up with last week. We were thinking about the topics that would be good for this week's webinar. And as David mentioned, we have covered this in a previous webinar, but there have been some radical changes, and we thought it would be great to do a small refresher on how to add custom content and SEO value to your member search results pages, as well as your post search results pages. So if it's okay with you, David, I'd like to pass over the mic.
Absolutely. So like Jason mentioned, we previously covered this in a tip of the week. I believe it was close to 2.5 years ago now. And in that one, we focused primarily on adding the SEO value to these search result pages. But we've released a lot of updates since then, especially with the web page builder. And so there's a lot more flexibility with what you can do when you're customizing specific search result pages. So we thought we'd dive into the different kinds of elements and content types that you can add to search result pages, in addition to the SEO value that you can add to them as well. So starting at ground zero here, we figured we'd go over the basic layout of the default search result page. So in this screenshot, it's the member search result page. However, the layout for post search result pages, like for articles, discussions, events, is pretty much the same. So the primary elements are the page title, or the heading right at the top. In this case, it's local business results. Below that, you have the search results listed out there. So in this case, this is a member search result page. If it was a post search result page, say for articles, we'd have the list of articles there. And then typically you might have a sidebar on these search result pages as well. And in sidebars, of course, you can edit the widgets that are within those sidebars. So you can add some custom content there. But that sidebar, in this case, would then be applied to all of the member search result pages, whether you're searching for members in LA or Dallas or you're searching through different member categories, that sidebar would be the same unless you go in and you customize one of those specific search result pages. So this is a great starting point. But what if we do want to add that custom content to specific search result pages? So what can actually be changed or added on search result pages? Again, whether it's member search result pages or post search result pages, all this, these same concepts apply. So the primary elements, of course, would be the main title and the subtitle. By default, on search result pages, there's no hero section or hero splash section at the top of the page, kind of like what BD websites on their homepage have by default. That hero section with the big image and then some, maybe a search box or a call to action there or a title. You can add that on search result pages as well. It's just not enabled by default. You can also have just general custom page content. Maybe you want to add additional details or context or information or calls to action on a specific search result page. You can do that. And there's also some different placement options for sections on that search result page where you can place that custom page content. You can also edit the SEO settings and the SEO meta tags. This goes into adding that some specific additional SEO value to these specific pages. However, if you are adding custom content or a custom title, things like that, that would improve the SEO value of the specific page that you're editing as well. The sidebar as well, like I mentioned, you can include a different sidebar on a specific search result page. If you really want to spruce up your search result page for members in Los Angeles, you can add a custom sidebar to that page that's different than on the other member search result pages, or you can add some custom content in the header of that page, things like that. And then, of course, you can also edit the additional advanced settings that are available in the web page builder. So we thought we'd give you some ideas here, some ways to use this custom content on specific search result pages. So you can add that additional SEO value for maybe your high value or your underperforming pages. Your high value pages or your top performing pages, maybe you want to make those even better. You can add some custom content to those search result pages, or maybe you have some underperforming search result pages, ones that maybe you thought should be getting some more visibility that just don't seem to be. Maybe adding some custom content to those pages would improve their performance. Like I mentioned, you can also add some additional context or just some general information to search result pages. Maybe on your on the general members search result page, you want to add some additional information at the top of those search results, kind of explaining maybe the different types of members that are listed on your site or something like that. You can also optimize the default page title with something more unique. So instead of just business member results, if you're editing, say, a local search result page for a specific location, maybe you want to add the location name or some other related information into the title rather than just going with the default one. You can also add some additional details to a search result page with that hero section, which contains a really apparent, prominent background image above the search result, the search results. You can add, maybe a call to action in there, just a bigger title. Maybe you want to add some additional information within that section. You can do all of that. And then, of course, you can also increase engagement on these specific search result pages by adding some additional calls to action in various places throughout the page. So there's a lot of different options. It's basically utilizing the web page builder and all the different tools that are included in that and applying them to specific search result pages, which are obviously dynamic. For member search result pages, if new members join or members might leave, that's going to be reflected in the search results. But if you're making these changes, those search results will still be correct and relevant. It'll just, surrounding those search results, you'll see the custom elements and the changes that you've made to the search results page. So there's a lot of flexibility here, a lot of cool things that you can do by customizing these search result pages. And so we thought we'd go in and show you how to do some of these things, give you some ideas, and hopefully these ideas might spark some different things that you can do with your own website and make things a little bit more unique, and especially maybe improve the general usability of your site from your specific user's perspective.
Absolutely. And like one of the cool things of Brilliant Directories is like the site just builds itself. As you add categories, the search result pages for those categories are automatically created. As members join, their profile pages are automatically created. So I guess a little bit of a warning. So your site's going to create lots of pages of content. So when you're going to customize a search results page, it might be a little daunting to go after every single search results page that was generated by the platform on your site. So you might want to focus your energy and maybe target a specific city and really build out the search results pages for that city, or that city plus a category like Los Angeles plumbers, or things like that. So kind of pick your battles when you're going after this, but definitely this is something that I would recommend everyone do, especially on either your popular pages. If you want to make sure that they hold their Google rankings, adding this custom content will help. Or if you have some pages that are doing well, but you have some underperforming pages that need a little bit more unique content to give them that little bit more of an edge in the Google search results, then this is something you should definitely take advantage of as well. So let's dive into the fun stuff here. I'll close down some of these windows here. So we have a blank slate. Okay, so here's a good example. Here is a page, and actually let me increase our viewing space there. Okay, so here's a page of the Los Angeles search results. So I've done what Dave, I'll show you how we did this, but instead of just the member search results for Los Angeles, what I did is I added a hero section. I updated the title, Los Angeles Business Directory. That's good for Google. I added a subheading, although the font size of the subheading is bigger, it is technically a subheading. Check out our top picks for Los Angeles businesses. Guess what? If I'm a Los Angeles business and you just said that these are your top picks, I want to know how to add my business, because this is obviously a good list of businesses here. And you can see right under the title, I put a button, add your business. Doesn't have to be add your business. It could be a link to Los Angeles events, and you link to the events section of your site for Los Angeles, the location of Los Angeles. So you could do a lot of cool things here. And then what I've done is I've added, there's only one member on this demo site here, but I've added another tab here. And in this case, I just copy and pasted from Wikipedia just for this quick example. But I took some content about Los Angeles and I listed it here in the read more about Los Angeles section. You can put more than paragraphs in text. You can use the content blocks and create links to Los Angeles events, Los Angeles coupons and deals, maybe some categories plus Los Angeles, like doctors, plumbers, lawyers, whatever it might be. So you can do a lot with this read more tab, which can also enhance not only the user experience, but also add some content to this page. So let's take a look at how we did this. Well, the quickest thing is when you want to create a custom page, there's two types. There's pages for your member results, and there's everything else for your post search results, like your article search results, your event search results, your discussion search results. So the quick thing that I did is I actually just clicked on the breadcrumb here for Los Angeles from this member. And I just copy this URL here, United States, California, Los Angeles. I could also just take Los Angeles. All of these work, United States, California, Los Angeles. They're all valid links on your site. But in this case, let's just take the full one. And what you want to do, and I'll start from the beginning, we'll slow it down a bit. Go to the dashboard. And where we want to go is the web page builder. And we'll click on new web page. And what you want to do is paste the corresponding URL of the location, the member search results, whatever the search results might be. It could be Los Angeles plumbers in here as well. But you want to come here and then you want to give it a nickname. So the Los Angeles city page, we'll call it. And here is all you need to do. Under page type, you want to select member search results. Now the system knows that this corresponding URL is corresponding to a member search results page on your site. And it's going to make sure that the member results still show on the page. So when you do those two things, it makes it its own page. Now let me go to the page I created for this. Scroll down here. I can actually just use the filter here. Okay, so Los Angeles. So I did create two pages. I created one page for / Los Angeles and / United States of America, California, Los Angeles. You can target them differently, or you can redirect them to each other if you wanted to. Let's go to this one here. And we can see a few things here. The URL is here, / California, Los Angeles. The page type is member search results page. And this is that content that I copy and pasted from Wikipedia in this case. However, you don't need just text and images. You could put in content blocks and link to some probably more useful things around your site, also corresponding in this case to Los Angeles. And we can see here I've updated the title for this specific page. It says Los Angeles Business Directory, and check out our top picks for Los Angeles businesses. And then I've also enabled the hero section. We've covered this in previous webinars. So what I did is I got a picture of the Los Angeles skyline, and I used it as the hero background image. And there are some settings here. The main title font color, subtitle color, I made them white. I made them nice and large. And here's the cool part, I think. In this case, I created a call to action in that hero section. And it takes you to checkout 3, which is a free listing for businesses. So it says add your business. I chose the button color that I want, extra large, and open in a new tab. So this hero section is really powerful. And what's really cool, pro tip, beyond the call to action and the title and subtitle, you can add additional hero section content here. This could be a widget shortcode, it could be plain text, it could be a form. You could really put whatever you want in this extra hero section content there. So let's go ahead and save these changes. And we'll view the page. It's the page we just saw. But we can see here, it definitely adds a lot more than just having the Los Angeles search results page title here. And to touch on David's point about the sidebar, under page options, you can decide to show a sidebar. So if you have a custom sidebar, maybe it's just for Los Angeles and you've put a banner ad in there that maybe highlights a member that wanted to be featured in your Los Angeles search results, you could create a sidebar, call it Los Angeles member search results sidebar or whatever, and select it here. So you can have a custom sidebar selected for this specific page, which is really high value if you're going to, I think that's the best example, is have custom banner ads or content you want to show that correlates to this search results page. And of course, you can choose if you want the sidebar left, right, slim, or wide. And this is also what David was talking about, the placement of the custom content. So in this case, we have it inside of a tab. But you could put this at the bottom of the page. So we'll go below member results and we'll save the changes. And this gives you a little bit of flexibility of where you want this extra SEO content, we'll call it, or calls to action to display. So let me just duplicate this page, the tab. So now we can see that tab is not here, that more results tab. And if we scroll down, we can see here is the additional content under the search results. Again, we just have one member in this example here, but under the results, we now show all that extra content. So what a great way when people get to the bottom of the search results to get them to click to more areas of your site. Again, this could be maybe just related content for Los Angeles. Maybe you did a blog post on like top attractions in Los Angeles, so you can do some internal linking to that article here. But this is also what I was talking about, like sometimes this takes just a little bit of time, and you guys have a lot of search results pages since the system auto generates them. So you might want to pick and choose your battles on which cities or locations or categories you want to tackle first, so you don't exhaust all your energy and get overwhelmed with all the pages that you would need to target to have this custom content. It is custom, so custom does take a little bit of time to give each one a nice little touch here. But I love this hero here with the button. And yeah, this is an example of a member search results page with custom content on it. Now let's take a look at, David, what did we do? Post search results page, we did the discussions one, right?
Correct.
All right, so we actually did create this one out too. We built it out for discussions. Let's do a search for discussions. Okay, here it is, discussions. So we have discussions on this site. This could be blog articles, this could be events, this could be the classifieds. What we've done here is we've added a more engaging title to this post's search results page. And we do hear this a lot, like, can we add quick links to like the most popular categories or to keyword searches? You know, it's kind of like creating a tag cloud. You can do that with this, with the content, the custom content on this page are these buttons here. So let's take a look behind the curtain and see how we turned a post search result page into its own, I guess, customizing it with its own content. So in this one, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna click on new web page, and I'll come back to the one I made in just a moment. So let's say we wanted to do one for our events search results page. So let's give it a nickname, events. And in this case, we don't need to enter the URL here. The system will know which search results page to target based on these steps. For page type, you want to select post search results. We can see the URL field goes away and says, and then the system is asking you, okay, which post do you want to link to this search results page? And all the post types that you have on your site will be listed here. So in this case, we want to, let's say, events as an example. Even cooler, you can not only have a custom page for the main event search results page, but maybe you wanted to do events, weddings. Maybe one of your categories was weddings, right? Events, weddings, whatever, kid stuff. So you can actually have a splash page, the custom search results page based on the category, or just apply it to the main page. So in this case, let's do it for category 1, and then you can do all that cool stuff like category 1, or let's say it's wedding as an example, like wedding, everything weddings, find all the wedding stuff going on. All the wedding events happening. So that is how you would link a post type. You just use the chain here and follow the steps. So let's go to the one I did for discussions. Use the filter here. And it gives you a little badge here so you know, like, oh, this is a post search results page that was created in the web page builder. All right, so a few things we did. The title here, join us for awesome discussions, share your thoughts and ask questions. Great way to connect with prospective members and visitors. I'm gonna go to the hero section. I do love the hero section. So I did put an image of people chatting and discussing things together. And then of course I made the font colors white because I'm using kind of like a darker overlay color on the background. And in this case, I did not put a call to action in the hero section. However, if we go on over to the page content section, I created quick links. So if you want a quick link to category 1 or category 2 or category 3, you know, I added a button here. And let's say you wanted to quick link to a keyword. Let's go to discussions and search for learn. Okay, this is the URL for all discussions that have the keyword learn in it. So I did a search for a popular keyword. Maybe you're a car site, so it might be Cadillacs you're searching in a classified site or something. I'm just using a word that's part of these test posts here. So I'm going to take this discussions learn, and I just dragged a button link code from the pre-made elements, and we'll edit this and we'll link to learn. And I'll just put Cadillacs here, even though we know it's for the keyword learn, but how do you spell Cadillacs? That's not correct. 1D, okay. 1D, 1L, 2 L's, okay. All right, Cadillacs. So let's update that. No, that's not how you spell it. There we go, Cadillacs. All right, so, and then what I did here is I put another button. It says, and I just use spaces to move it over here, and it says start new discussion. Well, where this is linking to is the account dashboard for account discussions add. So if the member is logged in, it takes them directly to the page if they have the privilege of adding discussions. It could be adding events, it could be adding classifieds, but I've put a call to action here as the custom content, and it's going to take them right into their dashboard. If they're not logged in, it will take them to the login page, and then there they can log in or register a new account. So either way, it should help improve member signups, or it should help encourage members to make more posts on your site. So that's all I used for the content section. I didn't put a bunch of paragraphs about Los Angeles here. I utilize this for button links. So just to keep that in mind for you guys. And we can reduce the spaces here. And then another thing is the page options. We put this above the member search results. So remember in the Los Angeles example, I switched it to below member results. So this is why these are showing above the member results. They could be below the results, just your preference, but I think this would be nice for above the member results. And also let's make this bold. All right, and let's save the changes. Okay, great. So this went to the next line, so we just might want to take that into consideration. We might want to use a slim sidebar in this case. Let's actually do that together. And actually, what I'm noticing is there is no sidebar setting here. So you know what we do. We pull out the notepad and sidebar setting for custom post search result pages. That should be there. So we'll get that there. If I made it a slimmer sidebar, they would all fit on one line. I know I went quick there, David. I know because we're a little short on time. Did I miss anything on this?
I think you got it all. Ryan did ask a great question. We showed how to make one of these pages for posts in addition to one of their categories. But what about for a location? Like say you want to add some custom content specifically for the Los Angeles events page. How would you go about doing that? Would the process be basically the same?
Yeah, good one. Actually, I don't have the Google Maps on this site. We'll see, I'm getting the warning here, but let's go to our demo site real quick, and I'll just show you, Ryan, the best way to do that. The easiest way to get the link for something is to do a search. So in this case, we're on the events page of the demo Bootstrap site. So I'll just search for Los Angeles, and we'll just do a search. So it's a little long, but this is the URL that will take you to the Los Angeles. Just take everything after the /. What this is doing is it's including the latitude, longitude, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, you can certainly get the URL like that. If you wanted to do a category plus location, go ahead and search the category as well. Category 1 Los Angeles events. You can do a search, and then the same thing. Just copy that full URL and then paste it into the URL section when you're editing that link. And that's how you would get that.
Excellent.
Good question there. Okay, great. So just to recap real quick, for your post search results pages, I think because these are a little more limited than the member results, which can have tons of cities and states and regions and category combinations. The post types are probably a little more within reach, low-hanging fruit to get these updated and customized a bit. There's only a few of them and probably only a few categories for each one. So here, just select page type, post search results, and then use the chain selects to select what the corresponding search results page, post page it will apply to. All right, a little bit of a little deep dive there, but I think everyone can add the hero section to those pages. If you do just that, forget the additional content, just the hero section and maybe the call to action to add your business or to do something else, that'll keep people clicking, and it'll make your site look more developed. All right, let's move on over to the Q&A section. We could talk about the tip of the week, the updates, or we can answer questions about your own website. We do have some hands up here. We'll go with Ryan here since David was just mentioning you.
Hey, thanks. How are you guys doing this evening?
Good, Ryan. How are you?
Doing good. Yeah, maybe I didn't add the question in there properly. I know how to grab the link. That's fine. I guess I get the request a bunch. It does come up a lot where the only way you can do a page for a post is to have a category, right? Because it does the post type and then the category. But there's like, let's say you are an actual site about events, or that was your main thing, like not really the listings, or you had another product type thing. There's no way to actually do a page for like LA events. And what I meant by that is like create a static page for LA events, or for something that's not a category. It would maybe be a keyword or a location based post. There's no way to make a page for those two items. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so to me, it sounds like almost like we did with the checkout URL, Ryan, is where you can put that long string of what that long thing that I just copy and pasted, but assign a not a mirror, but a way to customize that link so it's like Los Angeles events, and that long thing will correspond to that. I'll talk to the team about that one.
Okay, yeah, it's not really like a URL shortener though. That's not really what we're trying to do. It's like you can't create a static page. Like if I wanted to make if I was an events directory and I wanted to have LA events, I'd want like the LA hero header with a picture of LA and with the events list of just the events in LA. But there's no way to do that now because we can change the URL or links to it, but you can't make a static page to make it look nice like you can for a category, for example.
Gotcha. Are you not able to save that URL at all? Los Angeles events in the web page?
No, because you can do that for listings only. It does not allow that for posts. So that was my real question. Because as soon as you turn it to post search results, that URL goes away. Because you get. I don't know if we were able to do that before, but when it was just the page strictly. Gotcha. But now when you select the post search results, it gets rid of that URL, so I cannot edit that myself.
Gotcha. Okay, so I see what we're talking about. Pretty URLs for posts and their location and their categories, and then being able to. I think I understand. Is that correct?
Right. Exactly. So okay. I was just using the LA events as that's probably the best way. A post with something not a category, like a keyword or a location, where you want to be able to have a static page for a particular page, like a LA events page.
Okay. Yeah, no, thank you for the suggestion. We'll talk about it and see what we can do on our end for that.
Cool.
Thank you, Ryan. Ryan, I want to give a shout out. He was the fountainhead almost for the checkout page, customizing the checkout page URL. So thank you for that, Ryan. All right, we got Robert. How you doing, Robert?
Hi. How are you? I'm unmuted, right?
You are unmuted. Tell us all the good news.
Yeah, I was trying to make heads or tails of Zapier. I guess they pronounce it Zapier. I kept saying Zapier too, but because I was familiar with it but didn't know a lot, and I wanted to ask you something here. If you could go to my site, I've been playing around with domain name. Nothing's up and running. It's all kind of an experimental stage, but if you type in carrierboard.com, can you see my site? I don't know. It should be forwarded there, but I don't know if it's working propagated yet.
I have a link here, carrierboard.com.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see there. Looks like it's still propagating.
Okay.
I'll go. Yeah, I'll just
try logisticsbluebook.com.
Here we go. We're here.
Okay. Yeah. Now, so it's I'm creating kind of a shipping thing, like it's sort of like a uship.com, if you're familiar with them.
Okay.
And I set this up just for purposes to look at here in the demonstration. And you see in the navigation where it says home and then it says loads, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you click on post loads, it's a subdomain, it's a sub menu, post loads.
Yes. And you
then
want this to be submitted into your BD site?
Yes. I know how to connect the form. And there's a table there. So if you go down and click on where it says test, down that same aisle there, you'll see like this table, right? And
yeah,
you see the results.
Right. Well, this looks like something that can be embedded on a site. But yes, so as I was mentioning to Lisa earlier, I believe, the next phase so you're gathering leads using JotForm, and we want to import that into your BD site or embed this data somewhere on your BD site. So the next goal, well, we're still in the very beginning stages, but eventually the end goal is you can also have third-party solutions where you have forms like JotForm, and that will zap the data into your BD site. So it could, in this case, be matched with a member as a lead, or it can be added to some data on your site that you can then render or display on your BD site. So this is a perfect use case, Robert, of another solution where you happen to be using JotForm for these leads, and you want to zap this data into your BD site in some capacity. So we'll definitely keep you guys posted as we make more progress, but this is another good use case that we're in the direction that we're headed in. So thank you for that, Robert. All right, Lisa's got her hand up once again. How you doing, Lisa?
Good. One quick question. I had a little bit of a slowdown issue on my site, but Ryan Sullivan also helped with that. So thanks, Ryan. So he condensed the images on there, but because I'm using, I don't know if you want to take a quick look at it, it's consciouslivingdirectory.com.
Let's take a look. Conscience, right? Is that how you spell conscience? Conscience. Conscious directory. What was it?
Consciouslivingdirectory.com.
Gotcha. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Just a moment. It's going a little slow here.
Yeah, that's my question.
No, not your site. I'm not there. I'm not even on your site yet. Something else is going. So my browser is going. So conscious living. Sorry for the delay. Living directory.com. Let's see. Nope, I'm not spelling that right.
CONSEIOUS.
Thank you. That's it. Okay, got you. It's not conscience. I don't know why I use that as a way to remember that. All right, so here we go. Conscious Living Directory. Okay, we're here.
Yeah, so because I'm using that, well, up at the top, that changes the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's not changing. I'm not sure why.
Okay, but it's using the slider thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I can't see it changing though. Can you see it changing?
No, let's see. But what's the is that slowing down the site or?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure why it's not changing.
It's disabled right now.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So that might have been how Ryan got it to go faster. I'm not sure. Like, should I not use that then, or is there something that you can suggest?
Couple things is I don't think you need more than 4 images. I think it's fine to use the slider. However, I don't think you need like 7. I know there's slots for up to 8. In my opinion, no one's going to stay, or they're going to scroll past that part within a few seconds. So I don't think you need more than 4 images. So that will help save on load time as well. And then lastly, let me just check out these images. Let me just.
Even when you just said it's disabled, which I didn't realize that it was disabled because I wasn't looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Still-
50-50 on using the slider because again, people will scroll past it so quickly. It's probably not, worth it, and they probably won't care about the next image coming. I don't know how.
When it
Yeah.
was disabled, it was still taking 6.7 seconds to load.
Well, let's take a look at that speed test. I like to use GT metrics. It's one of the more old school tools here, and let's see what they tell us here.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a pretty light page, to be honest, looking at it. So let's just take a quick look. I'll share this link with everyone. It's a cool tool to do a speed test on your site. And all these tools give you different numbers. Google's versus this one versus Pingdom versus web page, the web page test tool. So this is giving me, and it loaded quick for me too. Less than 2 seconds, it's a good time. You've got a B, which is really good as well. Time to first byte is 16 milliseconds. So it seems to be doing well here, Lisa.
Fully loaded time is 6.5. Just scroll down just a tad right there. So it says right there, reduce the problem with the high thing. It says reduce the first server byte or something.
Yeah, that can be helpful too. I'm going to give you another tool here. It's called Image Optim. Oops, not that one. This tool, you just pop your images here, and like if you have those, let's say you were going to use all those big images as your background images, this is a great way to reduce their sizes. It gets sort of a bunch of like metadata that's associated with images, like they have like hidden tags that we don't see like with our naked eye, like the FBI forensic people look at when like a digital image is taken. So it drops all that stuff, which reduces like the overall size of the image, sometimes by 75%. So I would do that. The overall score is fine. Yeah, we're always pushing more updates for speed. This loaded quickly for me. I know that it's saying 6.5, but it's loading pretty quick and normal for me on my end here.
Not enabled for the slider again. So because I actually had a couple people I sent there to sign up, and they were like, it was too slow and it gave me errors. So
that's horrible. Yeah, you might want to go. Might want to go forgo the slider for now, but mention it to the support team. Maybe we can add that as a lazy load option, part of the lazy load updates in the future. And that way it only loads the first image until the next slide is ready to come in or something like that.
Can you add that to your little?
Sure.
Easier than me sending them an email, because then
Lazy load Vegas background slider. That's the nickname for it. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
And appreciate you mentioning all that. Thank you.
Jason.
Cheers. All right, great stuff from Lisa there. And we have our good friend Colette.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Awesome.
Firstly, thank you very much for that billings reminder. That's really going to make life a lot easier for me.
Great. Glad to hear that.
And then secondly, just wanted to check, are you doing some sort of an update on the categories page? Because mine has just gone out of whack weirdly today.
Not to my knowledge. Which categories page?
The actual business categories. It seems to have swapped the sub and the sub categories.
Someone connect, and you have, I think, maybe in the footer here, or just
found a business right at the top, or / categories.
Right. Okay. Let's take a look here.
Maybe it's / category. Just hover over found a business or click on found a business. There it is.
Okay.
So it's taken all these subcategories as the main categories, and then all the subcategories as subcategories, and swapped it all around.
So what this?
All of those are exactly the same, and then it's listed every single.
Oh yeah, that's something's going on there for sure. I would put a support ticket in for that. I don't know of anything that's been updated here, but
yeah,
you might
I have put a support ticket. I haven't heard yet, so I'll just wait for them to.
Okay, yeah, it's clear. I see. It's just repeating the same ones for each section. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure they'll get that sorted out for you.
Super. All right. Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome. All right, guys, good updates there. It's just about that time. Dave, thanks for the tip of the week, how to add custom content to your search results page. If you guys just want to do the minimum, add a nice hero title to those search results pages. And Ryan, we'll check into the, I guess, the prettier URLs for some of those post types. Tons of updates released, more to come. Really excited about that Zapier integration. We should be able to have that phase 1 ready for the next webinar. Excited for that. And if we didn't get to your questions today, I always encourage you to join our Facebook group. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. We can continue the conversations there. And on behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Have a great day and a brilliant week. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.